Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. Now this one I'm gonna need to read. You can see it in the cover photo and the title. Dilwale Dulhania whatever. LeJayenge. I know a few people are gonna have a laugh. I know a few people are gonna have a serious laugh, just like ha 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 ha. He can't pronounce this simple thing. It's just like ha 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 ha. I'm not good, okay? I'm trying to learn. It's just like I'm not good. Okay. Yes. There seems to be like a common trait in Indian movies where it happens every now and then. In a few of the other ones I've reviewed, a few of the other ones I've watched, where the main character doesn't like people from India, or they don't like brown skin, or they don't like, just like she wants either a white man, or she wants just not an Indian, of all things. She's just like, no Indian. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting how that goes. But this is, I guess, she's basically promised to wed, and it seems like a lot of these Indian movies take place in London. Yeah, they just take place in London, or half of them will. Don't know why. I mean, why not America? I guess it is a lot more expensive. Instead of taking your camera equipment on a train ride, you're taking it on a plane ride, which is far more expensive. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, they go to London, but this is like two opposing things. This guy fails college, drops out, and his father is happy about it. Yeah, and his father seems like an actually genuinely nice guy. His father was like a modernized, westernized Indian, because he dressed the part. He did not wear the traditional clothes. Yeah, and they mentioned that in the film as well. When the other Indians saw him, they were just like, they wouldn't have considered him an Indian when they saw him. I mean, that's very prejudiced. Just like, you have to wear the clothes in order to be considered. But that's a different story, because he made his living off of dropping out, because he's like proud that his son dropped out, but his son dropped out epically. He didn't drop out in high school like his father, or in like grad school or whatever. He dropped out in like legit college, and so he was proud about that. He excelled better than the rest of his family. So you get a lot from his dad and his singing, because he's just like happy about it, and it was kind of like, this is weird. Why is he happy? This is so backwards. Yeah, that's where you either disown them, or yeah, just other things happen. But it's just like, okay, I likes his father. I really likes his father. His father seems like a chill dude. Yeah, so he basically asked for a month to be in London before he starts working at his father's firm, or whatever his father does. He wants a month to himself. And then cut to this traditional Indian family who lives, I don't know, apparently not in India, apparently somewhere else. I missed it in the subtext. This is another older Indian film as well. So it does get very, very barbaric later in the end. So fair warning, don't get mad at me. That's just how it is done in the movie, and how it was expected at that point in time, I guess. But yeah, so this this other Indian family is completely strict, completely Indian, completely, the father's the head of the household. He dictates what's happening, and he's basically promised his daughter to an old family friend years ago. So she's been basically engaged her entire life. It's been set in stone her entire life. She has known nothing else, because she was always going to be promised to this guy. And of course they make the guy out to be a douchebag, not just this nice guy that she just can't be with. No, he has to be a complete douchebag. But that's later on. Yeah, so it's just like, she asks for a month to live her life in India before she gets married, because as soon as she gets back, she promises to get married. So, lo and behold, they end up on the same train together, and immediately she absolutely hates the guy. She absolutely hates the guy, the other westernized Indian, because he's very coarse, very flirtatious, using the same lines over and over and over again. And it's just like, it was funny though, the time when she tested him, because he talks about how he's an expert pianist, and his fingers just are like magic. They could do whatever. So she tests him, volunteering him to play in front of everybody. And it's just like, either he's going to be really good or he's just going to make a fool of himself. They did both. They basically had him banging on a $25,000 piano, which when I saw it, I was just like, ugh, just for giggles. Why? It's just like, he jumped on it, he was standing on it, he was banging on the keys, and then as soon as she was smiling, turned around, walked away, all proud, he started playing, like for real playing. And it's just like he's trying to win her over, but they slowly start to like one another. And that's one thing I've realized I actually like about the indie movies is like the romantic style of most of it, in most of them at least. Not that Eek the Tiger or whatever it was called. Yeah, because they're normally actually very fun and combative because one of them is normally not interested. They're never like immediately, because when it's immediately click, that just doesn't. Or they feel awkward. I mean, this one was one of those that's just like, okay, I like it, I like it, I like it. They're starting to realize they like one another because they're being forced to basically get stuck together because he is harassing her constantly. Constantly. And then he realizes he likes her. And then she realizes she likes him. Yeah, but then she basically goes home. She's talking to her mother about the guy. Her father hears, gets angry, and then tries to get them married the next week. However, the guy, the love interest, being a genuinely true, kind-hearted Indian, doesn't want to steal the daughter from her family. He wants to convince the father that he is right. So he literally goes to the party, the engagement party, whatever, and literally starts trying to win the entire family over from there. But it just goes downhill from there, really. But there's like this one scene where, because you're supposed to respect your elders more than anything in India, and the betrothed, the guy that the father had given her daughter's hand to, at the very end of the movie, takes a stick to the lover's father. And it's just like, if you believe that elders are more important than anything, and you see that huge welt on the other elder's face, yeah, you would call off that wedding immediately because you know that guy is absolutely not right for your daughter because he obviously didn't respect an elder. You could care less if he beat up the kid, but the elder. So it was just like that moment right there was the part where it was just like, oh my gosh. But it was just like, I couldn't understand this because the girl was like pleading with her father about how much she cared for this other guy. And the father's like, I know better than you. It's just like, how? How? I don't know. I guess I grew up in a different family mindset where my parents know when they don't know something. And heck, I've been called for things that they need help with because they know I know more than them. Just like they know more about things in life than I do. But they would never claim to know what's best for me. Never. It's just like, I was just like, ugh, what's wrong with this father? What's wrong with him? Apparently it's a very traditional mindset, and it's still practiced to this day where the father is the lead and the father is always right. The head of the household is always right. Yeah, I've yeah, but that's just like, it's very, very awesome to watch. I mean, I'm not trying to bash any culture or anything. It's just like, it's hard to see when I'm like, it's obvious. It's obvious. I mean, if I had a daughter and she was coming to me like that, it's just like, okay, obviously I need to spend time with this dude. Obviously I need to get to know this dude. But the funny thing is that there was a prior history with the dude and her father. So immediately he remembered him and was just like, yeah, I hate this guy. Yeah, that was like one of the funnier quirks. But yeah, it just like when it gets to that over the top strictness where no one else's opinions matter except for the father's, it really does like bother me because that doesn't make sense. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.